Hello, this is Victor, and this is going to be the third part on the painting tutorial on the Shadowseer. This time I will try to do all what is try to finish it all. Just as a reminder, this how so far the head is looking like. This is the work done so far on the rest of the parts. So sorry. At the end of the part 2 I was working on the gold. I did the wash with Seraphim Sepia, and I did the wash with the color lilac, and now what I will do is I will do some highlights using Auric Armor Gold or any gold that is really bright. So you try to make this the rim of the bell. And these things engraved this. Okay. So we do some highlights here with the gold. We use the same gold to do highlights here. This medal and also on the ornament of the foot. On the foot. Sorry. So as you can see here, to make a hair change between the gold and the blue, I will take a deep blue and I will just paint a little bit here next where the gold have went a little bit out of the bell, something like that. And we can use the same blue to give a little bit of deepness. Here. And here. Go with temple heart to be sure that the blue is thin and is only giving very small shades. So for example here it is too thick. I go with the temple guard and okay. So the other thing that I will do I will use no, this is not. I will use next. Thinking at the same time. I will use now Screamer Pink to do this thing here, and I will try to make also transition to. I will make transition to pink in that case. nothing very fancy. Just I apply first Screaming. This is Screaming Pink, I think it's called. Yeah, Screaming Pink. Okay. Paint this on the other side. So I will apply this base color and I will be back. So the base color is applied and it's still fresh. I put some water to keep it fresh. And now we'll take Emperor's Children Pink. And I will start making the color fade out. So I will apply a lot on the bottom first. And here you see that the previous paint was fresh. We can make it mix and soften the transition. You can use the original color. Okay, so I make it okay, and now I will take the lighter color, full beam pink. And I will do the extreme of the, and I don't let each layer dry. One layer is mixing with the previous one and it's making the color to mix and fade out, and it's making the transition softer. So you can use retardant if you want, but for this type of things I don't think it's needed. Just if you thin the paint correctly with water, it should be good enough. So as you can see, now the only remaining thing is I will do some highlights here on the arm, something like that. Yeah, this should be good enough. Okay, so yeah, next step is I will use the red glaze. So I will use blood leather. This red glaze is a little bit orangey, and I will apply this on the hand. This will make some shades. Prefer this than the wash, because this will be softer and will not darken too much the pink. So I will do the same on the other hand. I need to put on the fingers, just here on the palm, and then as usual we will need to wait until this is dry. So I let it, yeah, Okay, so now we are going to wait until this is dry. So the glaze is dry. Now what I will do is I will finalize with this part here. I will do the gems. I will paint just the basic color of the gems to remind me that here we have a gem, and later on we will need to do all the highlights. I will also do this gem here in the same. I'm using Baharo blue to do these gems. I'm just applying the base color, and later on I will do the final work on the gems, but I don't want to miss them. So this is why I'm painting just them with the basic color. The gem here in the middle, I will go for different color to not load too much the blue in that area, to have contrast with the shirt. Okay, so I'm using Screaming Pink to do this. This one we can do it to the end. So now I will use Emperor's Children. With Emperor's Children I will try to do more or less the half bottom of the gem. Okay, and then I will take just a little bit of the case fulgrim pink, and I will do a dot on the darker part. This gem is very small. I will go back because the dot was too big. And that's okay. I trim a little bit the dot with the Screaming Pink. So this will finalize this pink gem. I'm going to keep working on the details that they are here in that area. There are a couple of bags. I will paint them in leather colors. So I will start with Dumbull Brown. I'll paint this one here. And then this have to take part of this. Okay, and we'll also paint this one here with the brown. Okay, this is looking good. And while I'm waiting that this is drying, I will start doing the basic colors for the weapons. So I will apply first. Here I will do this. I don't remember the name of this. The stave, and I will make him light yellow and most likely mixed with purple or pink. So I will go first to use Dorn Yellow, and I will paint all the body of the stave with done yellow. Be careful with the edge paints. If you use edge paints, they are a little bit too thick sometimes, so you need to thin down, but I will just apply the base color here on the stave, and I will be back once this is applied. As you can see, now this is done. So the next step that I will do is I will apply a little bit of shade here on the yellow part. I will use Cassandra yellow. And it's just because there are some folds or wrinkles here, and I just want to emphasize them a little bit. I don't want to go very dark because I don't want to break the effect of the transitions that we did here, so I will just apply a little bit on the recesses. Okay, and here I will do the same. We have like two vertical recesses, I will apply a little bit. Okay, and the same here. Okay, so this is we apply so little that we don't need to wait a lot. So next step I will do is I will work on the black parts, and I will do the highlights to purple as I did here on the hood. As is a repetition of what I did, and you can go to the second part to know how I do the highlights. But in principle I will do highlights in 4 stages. I will first apply Naharot, Night, Shadows, purple, Genestealer purple, and some touches of the Kala Lilac. So I will do the highlights on the black parts, that is the rest. All the jacket, this jacket is going to be highlighted in purple, and I will be back once it is done because it's a repetition of what I did on the hood. So now I did the highlights on the black with purple, and what I will do next is I will glue the head in position. So I will cut the part of the sprue that is still attached to the head, and then we put some glue here on the hole. And we put the head. Now we will wait until the glue is completely dry to keep working on him. So now the glue is completely dry, everything is glued, this is attached, only the back is not glued yet, it's here, and I will do it later on. I was checking that everything is correctly highlighted. Okay, so you can see that I was highlighting the main body. Let's see if I can put it somewhere that you can see. The main body is highlighted with purple. Now what I will do is I will paint the base color of the shuriken pistol, and I will use a speed metal. It's metallic from scale 75 and have very nice, it has very nice metallics. So we'll use this color. Can be that you can use any, it's like real white metal, very light, and I think the grain is super small, so I like a lot this metal. The only issue is that it's quite thin from the pot. You don't need to thin it down, this one, and can have some difficulties to cover completely black. So most likely you will need to do 2 layers, if not 3, to have a nice cover. and you want a smooth and nice cover before doing the next step. I will leave part of the body without paint because we'll go on with gold later on. So I will combine gold and silver. So I will apply this on the pistol, and yeah, and I will be back once this is done. Okay, the metallics are done. I did here what I was explaining, the speed metal, very light metal, and then I used Vassar Gold. I did just apply a base as a base on this part here, here and here, and I also applied here. So this is just one layer of Vassar Gold on top of black. You see that it's covering very well and have very nice finishing. So now I will keep working on. I will do first one thing. You remember that we did these small bags. I will finalize first these bags because I completely forgot about them. What I will do is, here we have one bag that have like a decoration. I will do this with Auric Armor Gold. We'll do this decoration with this thing is have like this. Okay. Then I will take a light brown. Morphin brown will work. You can use another one even lighter. I will use XV88. It will be for this one. It's crack brown, as you can see. Normally for these things I highlight the edges. I will do some highlights here as well. Then I will finalize doing a wash with Agvax Air Shade. Here is important because it will help to make the gold part more visible. Okay. And I will use the metal that we use for the pistol to do some brights here on the grenade, but especially what is important to do, to play a little bit, is on the bell. Play here on the top of the bell, and I will apply here on this ornament on the edge, as well on this one. I will apply a little bit as well on the bottom. Just like that. This should be enough. Okay. So that's all. And now what I will do, I will paint the body of the staff. I will use first temple guard blue to make the line that is going up. So to make this, I don't know how to explain, the thing that is, and you see here I just go through these gems. So this is just, you have to take your time. And just go up first a thin line. This will help us. So this is going to be just the first line, and then we're going to make this line thicker, but we have to try to keep it the same distance each time we turn. It's quite tricky at the beginning. So to keep the parallels. Here we have the hand, so we assume that goes this level more or less, then will reappear in this level. Don't worry if you do some mistakes at this stage, it's normal. In this first part, what you want to know is where you need, where is going the line. Okay, so I did the line, the full rod, and now what I will do is I will make this blue line thicker. So I will start making it thicker, and by making it thicker I will make the line more consistent and more and I will improve the definition of the line. So you can see first I will do this part. Now we will go facing by facing, and I will try to have the blue line as thick as the yellow one. Okay, and we have to do all these sides. So, yeah. This can take quite a lot of time. So we'll try to make this part faster. Now it's looking quite decent. As you can see, I use the yellow to do some corrections as well. So especially to try to make it the most uniform possible. Now what I will do to make it more interesting, I will use Bahar blue and I will apply this within the blue part. So okay, as you can see, to do that I will do all around, so I will go to fast camera again. Okay, this is how it's looking like right now. And now I will use a little bit of white. And I will do the same, but in the middle of the yellow. So I start doing the same in the middle of the yellow. I will go to fast camera again. So yeah, and we can consider this done. This part. Now I will go back to the gold. I will use again Auric Armor Gold, and I will use this to paint this part on the pistol. Okay, and I will do the same here, and on the grenade launcher. So I will be back once I apply the gold on the other parts. So now the next step I will do, I will glue this at the back, because I want to do wash and it's going to be easier if this is glued and to the back of the miniature, and it's not in the way of the things that can be blocked by these things are already painted, so we can glue this thing at the back. Okay, and yeah, and I will start doing the washes. I will start with the part that is not recently glued. I will do a Seraphim Sepia wash on the gold parts first. Okay. You can see I do the gold on these harlequins normally always in the same way. Here I just applied the Auric Armor Gold on the bottom to make a little bit of gradient. Here you can see that I apply Auric Armor Golds just on some parts. I will do the wash anyway. This will work as a glaze and will help to smooth the transition between the two golds. Right here and here. And now we wait until this is dry because I want to do second wash on top of this parts. So now that the wash is dry, I will do the second wash as I did with the other gold. I will use the Drachi Violet, but this time I will also wash the metal. So we'll start with the gun to show what I mean is that I will apply this wash to give this violet purple finishing to the metallic. And you can see that in the gold you want it not to apply too much, you don't want to make it purple, but here in the pistol you apply a wash. This is too much, you want to apply just a thin wash. If you put too much, divide your brush and remove it. You can apply more on when you have recesses. Here I will apply on this part. And as you can see on the gold, I like a lot because it's giving a very nice shade in the purple. We'll do the same here. Here I will apply mainly at the base of this pike, and then I will also apply a little bit here, but just in some strategic parts. Will not wash overall, so I will apply mainly around these things. I think too much. This will paint them. I will paint them as gems most likely. You don't need to paint them all as gems, maybe some of them. So doing this shading will help them to pop up without changing the color. Okay, and here I will apply just a little bit on the base. And we have one of these things in that side, and another one here in that side. Now we wait until it's dry. Okay, so this is how it's looking like at this moment. Okay, so we will wait until the wash is dry before finalizing this miniature. So the wash I did on the metallics is done, and we can start now painting all the gems and the different details. So first I will use again Baharot blue to pinpoint some of the gems. So I will paint the gems here at the back. So as you see, I will do a base color to all the gems, and I will be back. The next step that I will do on the gems is I will paint the top of the gem, as you see here, with what's called this how turquoise is an old color from Games Workshop, but you look for a darker color that is in the same type of blue. So this is working very well here. So I will apply like that. And on the very small ones, this brush is not working as I wanted. So on the small ones, I will just add a very little on the top. For example, here this one on the mask. Okay, so I will keep doing that on all the different gems. For example, this one here, I will add a little bit here. I will keep doing that on the gems, and I will be back once I apply this on all the gems. So I did the shadings on all the gems, and now the next step I will use white, and I will add a small dot on the top. And I will do in these big ones also a little bit on the bottom. So I repeat here, I add, sorry if I'm in the way, a dot on the top, and then on the bottom and I will repeat that for all the big gems. And then on the small ones, they are very small, so I will just do a small dot on the top and another one on the bottom. And if the top is too big, you have the feeling that it's too big, keep the half turquoise next to you, and just with the half turquoise that was the dark color, this time I put too much, but you can do the correction. Okay, now it's better. So have the other colors close to you to be able to repeat in case it's needed. So I will keep doing the different gems on this guy. See, I do here the bottom, and then these ones in the big ones, instead of making a dot, you can do a small line like that. So I will keep doing the different gems, and I will be back once they are done. So now all the gems are done, and the next step I will do also the gems here on the rod, on the stave, the mist stave, but because I use blue as part of the color, I decided to go for different color in that ones. So I will use, in that case, Screaming Pin, and I will paint them with Screaming Pin. as we did with the other ones. And try to be careful not to go out of the gem in the case. So I will paint them and I will be back. The half bottom of these gems. This is the opposite way that we did before, but it's working too. Okay. So next I take Fulgrim pink and I paint the bottom of the gems. Just a small touch at the bottom. And finally we use white and we do a dot on the top, on the dark part. This is too big, we need to correct this one. I want to do the bottom one. Okay, now I go back to the screaming, let's call this screaming ping, and I correct this one that was too big. No, it's okay. I will add a little bit here that is missing there. Okay, this should be good enough. Now we are ready to do the highlights on the shoulder pads and on the metallics, and it's going to be almost done. So we go now to the shoulder pads and we are going to use first Iriel yellow, and we are going to paint the shoulder pad with Iriel yellow. I see that this yellow needs at least a couple of layers to have a solid coverage, so we are going to do a couple of layers because we want more more lightful yellow than the one that we used before. The one that used before is very good because it's covering very well on Avalanche Sunset. It's covering very well on top of black. But I was looking for something more bright on the yellow. You have to be careful with the yellow, it's very easy to leave marks. So let it dry. And while this is drying, we can go to some highlights. Edge highlight with flash with yellow. As you can see, what I'm doing is applying this mainly at the edge of the shoulder pads. Here the access is difficult. Okay. And now, finally, at the edge, we use the edge paint done yellow. Okay. The thing that I will do always, and this is what I will do on this time on camera, I do this sometimes off camera, is here you see I put a little bit yellow out of the spot. I mistake, I take black, the case, and I will correct this mistake. Okay. So now we can do the highlights on the gold. We finalize then the stuff, and at the same time we are going to highlight. We do the let's call this. We'll use Auric Armor Gold this time. Okay. What I will do first is I will apply this here on the edges. And then a little bit here. And here what I will do, I will apply at the bottom extreme of this spike. Okay. apply here and then here. And the moth here. What I'm doing is I'm just touching very soft with the side of the brush. We are going also to do some highlights on the golden part of the pistol. What I will do in that case is I go between the gems and I will add a little bit here. And on the back. Okay. Okay, here and then a little bit here. We will use this guy as having the crescendo shuriken pistol. So, and then I will also highlight again the metal, and I will use the speed metal that was the base metal that I did for this, for the pistol. Because now it's very purple, but I want to give more metallized finishing. So I start from the edges of the pistol. We'll do these things here. So like highlighting is the same process. And here is the most important part. Put here this part. Now I'm realizing that I was forgetting the gloves. We still need to highlight these gloves. They are too dark for what I wanted to do. So we are going to use the same metallized color to highlight a little bit the gold. We have to be careful because it's very contrasting to the gold. But you just want to do some small accents in strategic points to simulate the brightness of the metal. For example, here. Okay. Then on the pistol I will not add, because if not, it's too close to another silver color, but here we can add on the edges of this part. Then I will add a little bit just very little. Okay. So on the glove that I was forgetting them, I go back to Emperor Children, that was the base color, and I will also use full green pink. So I will start with this one. I use the full green pink. Here are the fingers. And then I will highlight first with full green, with Emperor Children pink. Then I use full green pink to do the second highlight. Again, and full green pink. We do the same at the back. Okay. And we will do the same on the other hand. So I will highlight the other hand as I did this one, and I will be back. The pink on the gloves is now highlighted. Next step, I was forgetting on this sleeve these things. I know I forgot the word for this. The rivets. So I will paint them with Auric Armor Gold. Okay, and then I paint these things here. Okay. This is another. Right. Then finally we have these things here. We'll paint them using first screaming pink. Now I will use Emperor Children Pink. Okay, and here I think I will finalize the tutorial here. Jesse will make a closer look. So this is how the Shadowseer is looking like at the end after the painting tutorial. So just do a turn. We'll do better pictures and a short showcase of him. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you find this interesting and useful. I think the most interesting for me, the most interesting part is how to do the freehands and how to paint this color transition here, the freehand here, and also how to do the check or the diamond pattern. So I also explained how to paint the gems. The only thing I'm missing here, I forgot to explain, is what I will do. You apply now gloss varnish. The last step is to apply gloss varnish on the gems. So I will use, sorry I put my hand, I will use Hair Coat from Games Workshop, and I will apply this on top of all the gems to give some extra brightness. So yeah, that's all for this painting tutorial. Apologize that in the second part I had problems with the edition and I missed part of the explanation. I hope anyway that you find this interesting. Thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.